Magandang people, mabuhay! So what we're going to do is, we're going to make goulash. If you don't know what that is, do not worry. I will teach you how to make it. But what you need for goulash is a lot of things. First of all, tomatoes. Second of all, potatoes. And then you're gonna need your onions, and you're gonna need your garlic too. You need olive oil. It's a little, but it will do all right. And then you also need elbow macaroni. It's gotta be the elbow ones, or you're doing it wrong. And then you need your ground beef, obviously, because it's kind of like a stew, but it's all right. And we need your beef broth too. And as for your utensils, what you need is a cleaver, a cup, a teaspoon, a can opener, a wooden spatula, this big bowl. Any good bowl could do it as long as it's big enough, and then a cutting board. So now, what am I gonna do? Well, first of all, we're gonna heat up the pan, because obviously all good things start with heating up pans. Bob, right here, this is called a pan. What are we gonna do? We're gonna heat it up. Now what you might be asking for, what kind of heat? High heat, because it's hot. So yeah, high heat. Remember that, kids. Remember. Don't be stupid. Put it on high heat. Now, what are you gonna do? Well, you take your cleaver, and then you get your onions and your garlics. I don't need all that. As long as I got my trusty kitchen gun, I can just do this. Bang, bang, bang. See? Just like that. It's all chopped up. Now what you're gonna do is, you're gonna pour some oil, this over here. You're gonna need about 2 teaspoons of this thing. Because, well, I mean, it took a very small time to chop these up, but whatever. Dang, this thing right here, what you're gonna do is, you're gonna take the spoon, take your oil, and just gonna put it right there. Now you might be wondering, how can I tell if it's hot? Well, if you're close to it and it starts sizzling, then it's gonna be hot. Obviously, that's basically common sense, right about now. Yeah, and then what you're gonna do is, well, you still gotta wait a little bit, actually. So yeah, I'm gonna take a drive real quick. Now see, if you can't see it, then you're blind, but I can see it, and I am blind. And it's smoking, therefore, it's hot. So what are you gonna do after that? You gotta take your stuff. You gotta get your onions and garlics. And what you're gonna do with that, you're gonna pour it in. Be careful, it's pretty hot. See, you can sizzle, you can hear it sizzle. It's that hot. So yeah, for this part, be careful, by the way, guys, because it's pretty hot. Now, how long are you gonna saute this thing for? Well, lucky for you, just saute it until it's brown, or slightly brown. After I shoot up the and now I'm back. So you're gonna do this thingy over here. Now, since it's already hot, well, it's already going brown, so like, it's pretty good. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna stir that thing. You stir that thing. Whatever they say it was. Eagly boogly 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 baggle boo. And why are we sauteing? So that the flavors of the garlic and the onion will go into the ground beef. It will absorb it using the oil, so it will absorb it. You know what I'm saying? But first things first, you gotta saute it, because, well, how is it gonna absorb it without the natural juices of the onion and the garlic? So now that's all heated up. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take your ground beef, this thingamabob, and you're gonna slap that in. Be careful, the oil will splatter and might hit your eye or your somewhere, but yeah, it's gonna hurt. Now, at this point, you would just do this. Just smudge the beef up, right? And also, after this, you're gonna lower the heat to about medium, so you don't want it to burn. I mean, who enjoys burnt food? Come on. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna stir this for about, until it's brown. Basically, kind of like the garlic too. Garlic and onion. But you can't just walk away. You gotta chop this up so it's all ground up. Because, well, if you thawed the pork or the beef, whatever you're using, you can either use both or use none. And then you just chop this up right here. And smoosh that. And then it's grounded up. But you need to be there at all times to start it up. And you could maybe adjust the heat a little, or maybe just not adjust the heat. But, well, you still gotta cook it somehow until it's brown, or until it's, good looking, like you. Gotta chop it up. You gotta mix-a-rooney, you know what I'm saying? You gotta mix-a-rooney. And it might take a long time, but there's no problem, gang. I mean, it's beef, and it will take a long time. Alright, you stir that. You stir it. And then once it looks kind of, I think, yeah, kind of. Or you could just, now once that it's like chunked up and it's not chunky anymore, you can probably let it steam for a little while. Just use this thing on my bob and just cover it over there. So we're gonna let that wait for about, I don't know how many minutes, maybe a lot of minutes, we don't know. So we're just gonna cook that there. And it's gonna get hot in here too, so yeah, get away from this. Now what you're gonna do next is basically, you're gonna cut up your carrots and your tomatoes. Now, since I'm very lazy and I don't wanna use a cleaver because it cut my finger, I'm gonna use, drum roll please, kitchen gun. Bang, 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 bang. See, it's all chopped up. Now what you're gonna do is, well, you gotta fill this up with water. I'll be right back. Ain't no bad. Now, this is still water. How can I tell? There's water. So what you're gonna do is, you plunge the carrots and tomatoes in it. Now you might be wondering, well, why do we need to plunge this? Well, because my mom does. And you should too. So I'm just following her footsteps, basically. So I just plop that there, swivel back there, dibble dabble, dibble dabble. And then just give that a good old mixeroonie, let all that dust and grime, that starch, get removed, and you just do that. Oh, and by the way, this entire thing, I was wearing gloves. I don't know if you noticed that. If you did, good on you. And then just dibble dabble, dibble dabble, dibble dabble, schmeckle double, dibble dabble, and then you dibble dabble. Then you clean this too. Ta-da! Now, let's check up on our beef. Let's check it out, guys. Ooh, that's hot. So now, what you want to do is, well, it's cooked. So basically, you gotta mixeroonie that a little bit. And then what you're gonna do is, wait, let me think. I'm done thinking. Ta-da! Soup. You're gonna do the soup. You're gonna open it. But guess what? Drum roll, please. Not the kitchen gun, but can opener. You go spread their legs. You're gonna clamp that there. And you're gonna. Yeah. So it might be hard for some people. It might be easy for some people, but sometimes it's kind of hard. Also, be careful. I'm not wearing an apron during this entire thing. So like this could probably like stain my t-shirt, and I don't want that. So you should wear an apron while doing this. But I don't have an apron, so I'm just gonna use very, very precautionary measures. So do that and do this, and then boom, it's abracadabra. It's opened. Take your teaspoon, shove it in there, and then you remove the lid. Be careful. The lid will slice your fingers off. Trust me. I know probably 5 cousins who got their fingers sliced off. So you got your canned tomato soup. Just put it there. Let it all there. Let it all out. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna mixeroonie that with the beef and let it simmer for low heat. Now you might be asking, well, what are you gonna do next? Hold on. Let me think. I'm lazy. How am I gonna dice these perfectly good tomatoes? Well, I got the thingamajig for you. The all new kitchen gun. You gotta crank that, smooth that, bang, bang, bang. You're gonna do that about like a couple of times. I'm like bang, 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 bang. Is voila! So what you're gonna do is, well, you're gonna put it there. But first of all, the most important of all, water break. Excuse-moi. Then you got your thing-a-ma-ding, and you're gonna put in your thing-a-ma-bomb. Dibi habdi, habo dibi habda. Blah blah blah. And then you give that a stir. Yeah! That's very hot. No touch, or you burn. Once this is simmered down, what you gonna do? You gonna add that beef broth. So we're gonna put that on high, and then you add your beef broth. This thing on the bottom. So now it's boiling, right? You're gonna add the entire carton. Now you might be wondering, why do you want to add the entire carton? Well, basically, we're going to add the carrots and potatoes in here to boil. And we're also boiling macaroni in it. Car key. The carrots and potatoes. So basically, we're going to do that. We're going to drain it. And you're going to put that there. You're going to carry it. Hold for it. And then you're gonna put that there. Then you hold it here, you're gonna drain it, and then you're gonna put that there. Basically, kind of a big deal. You're gonna hold it, you're gonna strain it, and then you're gonna put that there, you know what I'm saying? And then oobity boobity boo. Oogada boogada. Now don't worry if water falls into it, it's just a little bit, and we added an entire carton of beef broth, so like, I don't think you're gonna taste the water anyway. And you're gonna pour this out. It's gonna be really, really dirty, so be careful. Oogada boogada. So now, let that simmer, let that boil, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna let this simmer for a bit. I'll be on my merry way real quick. Now since that is boiling, what you're gonna do is, you're gonna open this thing. Now I'm using a knife because I can and I will. And why not? And so on and so forth. Whatever reason you wanna believe. So how many cups of macaron we gonna put? Well, 2 cups. I'm gonna put 2 cups of this thing. Actually no, scratch that. Make that 2.5. Since well it's the thing is not boiling. So that's good, right? Yeah. Yeah. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna measure out your macaron. You put that there. You're gonna measure that out. Now, don't be clumsy. I mean, you could, but, well, you're cooking and this is food, then that's highly disrespectful, yo. So you could not do that, gang. Because you're cooking, gang. So, like, nah, you can't do that. And since it's boiling now, it's alright. You're gonna put that there, too. Over there. And then you gotta measure that out clearly, by the way. You're gonna put that in half time over there. Bingo, bongo, dingle, dangle. And in your diggity, in your preference, you put how much macaroni you want, but I already listed out what I want, so we good, homie. Now I ditch the spatula and grab this thingamabob, and we're just gonna little ladle. And if you think that the macaroni ain't enough, just add more. Don't, so, yeah, basically just gotta add more macaroni. That's gonna be enough. So now that's there. You're gonna stir this bad boy. You're gonna stir it. You're gonna stir it like that. So yeah, stir that. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna let that all boil. You're gonna let that boil, you're gonna let that simmer, you're gonna let that drain. And you're gonna put that there. Then you put this cover here. And just oogity boogity boo. Corky. Abadoo. See that? That here is food. What kind of food, you man? Ta-da! It's called goulash. And yes, it looks good. And while you weren't looking, I added salt and pepper. We're gonna make this look nice. Oogity boogity boo. Folks, we're gonna make this look good. Say it with me! Kitchen gun! Bang, bang, bang! Voila! Now that'll look good in it, bruv. How many people can you feed? About like an entire family, I think. So yeah, that'll look good, bro. And